Hello, folks.
How are we all this evening? Happy Saturday. How's it going? I'm munching on popcorn, so don't mind me.
It's alive, of course, Jade is eating.
Of course I'm eating. What's new? But how are we all doing? Everyone doing well? I'm going to apologise again for the kind of back and forth on the scheduling of this one. We were going to do it, and then it was postponed, and then thought we were going to do it last weekend, and then didn't happen, and now we're here. We're here now.
Yay!
As you can see, Gavin is not with us today, but fear not, he will be back next time.
Is he not?
No, is he not hiding behind the sofa?
No. Maybe he's in between my legs. Let me see.
He's not in here.
No, he isn't.
No. But he will be back next time. Just sadly not with us today. But we're still going to have a good time because our lovely moderator, who's normally in the comments doing all the important stuff, like leaving links and telling you where to...
I'm not doing that today, so you can sort it out yourself.
You're going to have to find out yourselves because we don't have Pris doing her usual job. So sorry about that, but a warm welcome to Pris being on screen, please, folks. That'd be great.
And Lily, of course.
And Lily,
yes.
Special guest. Or is that Gavin as a cat? Is Gavin a shapeshifter?
Gavin, behave yourself. Gavin. Behave yourself.
There will be spoilers in a little bit, but not yet. We will let you know before we get into any sort of spoiler territory. So you're okay for now. But yes, good to see you again.
Thank you.
Hello. Awesome.
Hi,
right. So of course you can tell from my fancy background that we are going to be chatting about Wolf for a Spell. It's been a little while since we've read this, as this was our February pick. We're now halfway through March. The scheduling issue has meant that it's been longer than we would like it to be. So I can't guarantee that our conversation will be as up to scratch as usual.
And I read this in the first week of February for Portal, so
it's been like 6 weeks.
Wow.
We'll cope. I need to sneeze.
Bless you.
I apologize. So yeah, it's been a little while. However, that does mean that there is less time for you to wait between seeing us chat about this and our next one for Amari and the Night Brothers. This is our pick for March. So March has already started. I know a lot of people have already picked it up. I'm going to wait until closer to the date of that live show. But the live show for this one should be the last weekend of March.
Oh my God, Lily! Gavin, what are you doing?
That's very in character for Gavin.
Yes.
So yeah, this one will be... The live show will be the last weekend of March. So less time to wait for this. I'm really
hoping because I have been, and this time it is very much a real thing. I've been in a reading slump. I read 2 books since Podathon, so it's real. I'm not having a crisis with reading for 2 hours. No, I've been in a real reading slump, and I'm hoping this is gonna get me out. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
All of the fingers crossed.
It has all the ingredients to do so. So I'm really hoping
for success there. So hopefully it does that. Look at how sugared this piece of popcorn is.
Ooh.
That is like crispy delight.
Are you eating sweet popcorn?
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting. Popcorn should be salted. Okay?
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Yes.
You haven't missed this. you're all good. We have picked what the next 3 months will be. So we will probably announce that soon. So
Yeah.
keep your eyes peeled. It will, of course, go up on the Twitter, but we'll do the same thing where we announced 3 months worth. We will announce the next 3 months worth. They have all been picked. The graphic is ready. It just hasn't been posted yet.
Very exciting fix.
I'm excited. Yeah.
I'm also really
fully
excited.
convinced the cat is Gavin. Yes.
Yes. Gavin, behave.
Sweet popcorn. Correct.
No, salted popcorn. Popcorn needs to be salted.
Always sweet. Tracy's impatient. Okay, I'll see if we can get it announced maybe after this live show.
Yeah, we will ask Gavin if we can, like, put it up.
You're all right for now, Emma? No spoilers yet. But yeah, just doing our intro chat at the minute. Mix of salted and sweet. I don't like salt. Like, I don't put salt on a lot of my food because I really don't like it.
I have an obsession with salt, and that's why I have high blood pressure. Because I eat too much salt.
I am kind of mad at myself for not liking salt because salt apparently really helps with migraines. And as someone who's had a migraine for most of today and has spent most of the day in bed, I need more ways to get rid of those.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, not like ridiculously amazing. It's not like some sort of miracle cure.
No.
But apparently, it's good for that. But I just don't like it. Anyway.
I just put way too much salt on. The amount of salt you know when you get like fries from a snack bar or McDonald's, they're already salted, and I just put like another batch of salt on it when it gets here. It's just it's also not a good thing.
On fries, like McDonald's fries, fish and chip shop chips, I'll go for some salt, but that's like it. On everything else, I am a cracked black pepper sort of girl.
I don't like pepper.
Cheese and caramel mixed together on popcorn.
That sounds disgusting.
I'm not sure I can approve of this.
No, because there's cheese on there, so you're not gonna.
Even if I liked cheese, that's weird. But you know what? If you like it, you carry on enjoying it. Anyway, let's stop chatting about food. Let's chat about what we're here to chat about. So remember to read this one for next time. But we're going to talk about this one. So to kick us off, general thoughts. No spoilers yet, but just what star rating did you give it and general thoughts? Pris, off you go.
I gave this 5 stars. This is everything I love. It's polar fantasy, it's middle grade, and it's Slavic folklore. I mean,
took the words right out of my mouth. This was, for me, such a beautiful read. Polar fantasy, middle grade, Slavic folklore. Beautiful. Like, it felt so homely and just really warm and everything that I wanted at that point, and like such a classic fairy tale sort of vibe. Like, this would be great to read to children, but also reading like on your own. It's just warm and lovable, I think.
Yeah, and I think what also really helped was that I read it for Polathon, you know, because we were already so in the week of coziness and cozy vibes, and just, yeah, it was just, together with Echo North, those were my favorites of the week.
Same. 5 stars. Animal involved always gets bonus points. Yeah.
Yes.
3
I
stars from
agree.
Tracy.
Tracy.
4, 5, 4.5, 5, 5. For the illustrations. The illustrations were beautiful.
Yep.
And again, just added like another level to it for like if you're reading to kids to show the illustrations as well.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. And the illustrations
I
suited the
just
story
think
so well.
that also, but I just love when a book is illustrated, and I'm gonna fight for this because I think not enough adult books are illustrated. I think adult books should be illustrated as well. So I'm gonna fight for it to have my book, when it's all done, illustrated. I want that so bad.
Just on the topic of adult books being illustrated, Empire of the Vampire is going to be illustrated, isn't it?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm getting more and more excited about that book. At first, I was like, meh. But I'm getting kind of excited about it.
It's illustrated. Didn't even rate it. Oh no.
Damn.
Gut feeling then. If you haven't rated it properly.
Yes, damn. Gut feeling.
Another 3 stars here. 5, 4, 5. 3, really enjoyable. Joe's got me into Slavic fantasy. I got a new list of books. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so.
I mean,
I'm also like way into Slavic folklore because of Jade.
I'll take
It's just
that.
so good. It's so good.
The more people I can encourage to read it, the better. On that note, read The Republic of Birds. The Republic of Birds by Jessica Miller.
I still need to read that.
Where is it? Is it within reaching distance? Yes, it's right here. This, also fantastic. Slavic folklore, polar fantasy, middle grade. Brilliant book as well. Just as another recommendation.
And all the Sophie Anderson books.
If you enjoyed this, read this.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah. And of course, all the Sophie Anderson books. Um, 4 stars. All the characters had solid personalities. Yes. Oh, it's illustrated as well. Nice. Illustrated Lord of the Rings. That'd be pretty cool. Did you read it, Tracy? Have you already read it? I had an e-arc for it from NetGalley and didn't read it until I had the physical copy. I now know a Slavic folklore for anyone who has played Stardew in the maze at Halloween as Babi Yaga's hut. Oh, cool. I haven't played Stardew Valley, but I would like to. As a woman, I feel Babi Yaga is a highly relatable character. Give me my walking house in the woods, right? Yeah.
Oh my god. Could you imagine if you just had a house with chicken legs? It would be fantastic.
It would be so cool. So cool. So general consensus seems to be that everyone enjoyed it. Some of us enjoyed it more than others. I think the lowest rating we've seen is 3 stars, which, 3 stars is still a good rating. So general consensus seems to be pretty positive. And I'm happy with that. I'm really pleased to see so many people enjoying it, especially because of how much I did.
Yes.
I will say, I wonder if at the time I was maybe a bit generous because of how immediately like cozy and warm and fuzzy I felt. Yeah, I wonder if now that some time's gone on and we discuss it, there may be things that I have forgotten. And maybe it hasn't had such a lasting impact, so it might potentially be a really high 4-star read for me. But at the time, it just made me feel so good. So we shall see. We've got Dem's rating here. 4 or 5 stars. I finished it like 2 weeks later. Fair. I mean, 4 or 5 is still high, though.
Yeah, that's still high. You read it in a day, right, Jade? I also read it just in, I think, almost in one sitting as well. Because it read so fast with all the illustrations.
Yeah. It was a quick read for sure.
Yeah.
Requested it from the library, so hoping it will turn up. Awesome. It's definitely a book I want to keep, and also the hardcover with the wolf is gorgeous. Oh.
Yeah, oh my god, isn't it like so cute? It's so cute.
With the wolf face. It is such a beautiful book. Yeah. Inside and out.
Yeah, also the cover is just...
Tracy, we may have to rely on you for some questions then, because as I say, it's been 6 weeks.
Yes.
I've forgotten a lot. Read it in one sitting. Was that like general across the board? Did most people read it in one sitting? Because it does read very fast.
A lot of people have read it for Polathon.
That too.
I've seen it a lot for Polathon.
This is a good point. The illustrations match the book so well. Like the vibes of them together was just something special.
I don't know. I found the illustrations also a bit in the same style as Carl James Mountford.
I get that.
It's a little bit in the same style as he does illustrations. Not quite, but I don't know.
I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
Emma read it in 4 hours. Amazing.
Whoever.
2 days for Polathon, yeah. Did most people read it for Polathon as well? I feel like you probably did. I saw it a lot mentioned for Polathon, which seems like an absolute age ago. Polathon seems so long ago now. The fact that it was like just over a month ago, it seems like it's been at least half a year.
Gavin, are you gonna blame the camera?
Read it in one show you booty. Illustrations were so great. Added to the story.
I'm show you booty.
Is Gavin showing his butt?
Yeah, he wants to.
Who is the illustrator? It is.
Good luck pronouncing that. I'm just gonna show. There it is.
Hananami? Paulina Hananami? That person. I have not looked up a pronunciation for that, so I apologize. But that. Read it with Sasha on the last day. Nice. Read it afterwards. Read it for Polathon. Go Team Penguin.
Yes! Penguin! Noot noot!
Got it in December, saved it for Polathon. Amazing. Need another Polathon for all the Slavic fantasy I want to read. Well, there'll be one eventually. Ended up reading it later in the month. That's fair. Oh, do not recommend the audiobook. I did not read the audiobook. I read it physically. So I would be interested to know why. Was the audiobook particularly bad, or
maybe narrator?
Press, there's a penguin hoodie that you need.
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it, but it's also very expensive.
My first ever book was Baba Yaga, and I'm obsessed with it. I've added so many Slavic retellings. Yes! So many. Again, I will say, read The Republic of Birds. There is...
And also, it's not middle grade, but The Bear and the Nightingale.
The Bear and the Nightingale. Yes. Sophie Anderson books, obviously. Yes. You know what? An underrated one, but kind of weird and a little bit messed up. Vassar in the Night by Sarah Porter is a Baba Yaga story.
I have this book.
It's a Baba Yaga story. But
Are you being serious?
yes. Why would I pick this up and lie? But it's a little
I'm
bit
gonna
messed
check.
up.
I think I have this.
Do you not trust me? It's about a girl called Vasa, inspired by the Russian folktale Vasilisa the Beautiful, and it's literally about her going to Baba Yaga's hut. Are we seeing how she does not trust me?
Damn. I did not know this.
Babs Yag is the owner of the local convenience store.
Inspired by the Russian folktale Vasilina and the Beautiful. I need to read this.
But it's not that like cute, heartwarming sort of vibe. It's a bit messed up.
Well, I'm messed up as well, so it fits perfectly.
But yeah, weird one.
Oh my god, I'm just so shocked.
We get Christmas in July. Why not Burlathon in July? We'll see. We'll see. The narrator wasn't great, had a thick accent and read really slowly. Fair. I think most audiobook narrators are really slow. I tend to listen to audiobooks at like 2 times speed most of the time.
You know, I couldn't do that like for a very long time, but I've made my way. I've listened to more audiobooks, so I've made my way up to 2 times.
Oh, look at your mug. How cute is that mug?
Oh, you want to see my mug? Look, it says, I remember Eddie. Such a beautiful mug. I mean, come on.
First Slavic retelling, would definitely read more. This is like one of my missions, one of my many missions. Get people to read Slavic retellings, get people to read Sebastian de Castell. That's my life ambition.
Yes. My life ambition is for everyone to read Keepers of the Lost Cities!
We've done that one already, okay? Who was your favorite character? Loved the wolf. The wolf was Zima. I did love the wolf.
I cannot remember any names, I'm sorry.
I did also really like Baba Yaga, though.
Yeah, but I liked the girl. Who was the girl? The girl and the
Nadia.
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 The girl and her like big sister. Not really her sister, but
yeah. Katrina?
Yeah.
Katerina. Nadia and Katerina.
I liked their bonds together, like her. Like I'm just a really big fan of found family trope. If there's found family in there, I'm just yes. I love that so much.
Yes, a new book coming out called Vasilisa. I want to read that one. I really do.
Why do I not know this?
I don't know. Baba Yagathon.
You know what I'm also really excited for? The fairy books from March.
Oh, yes, me too. Polar fantasy vibes.
Yes, I'm like so excited for that to come.
That's now added to my Amazon wishlist. Baba Yagathon.
Oh
I mean, you guys could make it happen.
No, you could make it happen.
I already have a readathon. I have Polathon. I can't.
You can have 2 readathons.
Oh, the Lone Wolf. The one with the one eye. What was his name? I can't remember his name, but yes. He was cute.
Yes, he was.
What was his name? Was it Vita or was that her brother?
No, it was Vita, I think. Grum was her brother. Grum was like the angry brother, you know.
Yeah.
He wanted
Although
to
there were
take
two
down the
brothers.
humans. Yeah, he also had like a little brother, right? I'm so bad with names.
Yeah, I can't remember the wolves' names. This is bad. Can anyone remember all of the wolves' names?
You had Grom, Potok. Was Potok the younger
Maybe.
brother? No, you had like two wolves that weren't family of Zima. She had two brothers, and then we had like Potok and Viter, and there was another brother.
Ah, Leto. Leto was the younger brother.
Leto. And he almost died, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, we got there in the end. Oh, you saw a middle grade book with the House with Chicken Legs pictured.
I now kind of do agree with you, Jade, because at the time it was like everything I wanted and I was like obsessed with it. But the fact that I like can't really remember all that too well also maybe shows that it hasn't had really
and
big
had that impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it could potentially be a higher 4-star. Yeah. Oh, that one's on NetGalley. I'll have to look that up. Pris, you host it on Twitter. Babby Agathon. I'll read a thumb related to Slavic folklore. I feel like I wouldn't be the right person to do that. I feel like if a Slavic folklore readathon happen, hear me out. I feel like someone Slavic should do it, not me.
Okay. You know who
can't
also
argue with that.
really could do that? You know who also would be like a really good. Ooh, I'm gonna send her a message about it. You know who also really could do this? Sasha from.
I knew you were gonna say Sasha.
Yes, I'm gonna send her a message after this.
Cute Insta read that has good feels but not memorable. Yeah. It was like hearing someone tell a story. I get these vibes as well. I feel this. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is, I think, why I say like it would be a good one to read to children, because it reads like that. Oh, she's here.
Hello. Did you hear what I said, Sasha? Did you hear what I say? I said that you, Sasha, could host a Slavic readathon because you would be perfect for it. So I'm telling you now, do it. Okay? Thank you.
Oh, just finished her live stream. Oh, well, thanks for hopping over. Now you know.
Well, now you know. I was gonna send you a message on Instagram later on.
I currently don't have any mods because my mod is here, so bear with me for a second whilst I just deal with the devil in chat.
Is there a devil? Where's the devil? Oh my god, yes. I can see the devil. I'm sorry I'm not there, okay?
It's okay. Have we both gone to do that? Cool. I think it stopped. Oh, Wild Sasha appeared. We summoned a Sasha.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
It was a little creepy that there was someone in the chat calling us Satanists, and then we summoned Sasha out of nowhere. So, you know. I mean, maybe. Anyway, Sasha, host a Slavic readathon, please.
Yes.
And I think now's probably a good time to say, if you haven't read the book, we've said about as much as we can without going into spoilers. So now's probably the time to leave.
Go away, Gavin.
You said my name too many times like Beetlejuice. A cult of bookish people. That's us. My laptop fans have just really started, so sorry if my laptop sounds like it's about to take off. It doesn't normally do this. But yeah, if you haven't read the book, now is probably the time to leave, so we don't spoil you. Have you gone?
I think that's enough warning.
Okay. We've told them. Oh, here we go. I'm off. Should we go through our core pile ratings? Although going through our core pile rating might not be necessarily very useful for us.
It's not very exciting.
It's not very exciting. However, let's start from the top. Let's talk about characters, how we feel about characters, etc. But first off, what did you rate characters?
I gave characters a 9.
I also gave characters a 9. And I will be the first one to tell you that now, thinking about it, I want to lower that to a 7.
Really?
Because I can't remember most of them. I remember...
No, I can't remember them, but I can't remember the names. I'm just not very good with remembering names. But I can't remember them, so I'm gonna stick with the 9. I'm sticking with the 9.
Okay. Maybe an 8 then. Maybe 7's too harsh. But I just feel like when I rate characters a 9 for something, it's because it's a character that I have fallen in love with. Like, they're a character that I really relate to and just feel their being in my soul. And I don't think I had that as much. But I did give it a 9 at the time of reading, so does it deserve it? As Sasha said, you usually read the books closer to the date of the live, so keep it. Which is fair.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I'm keeping it a 9 at the characters because I really, really like them a lot.
Yeah. This is a good point. There are a lot of characters in a short book, and we didn't get to know any of them particularly deeply.
That's very true.
I would say that's true, other than of Zima. I think we do get to know Zima pretty deeply. And perhaps Nadia as well.
No, but I also thought Baba Yaga as well.
I don't think we got to know Baba Yaga that well. I think she was just off on her hunt most of the time. We spent a lot of time with Zima as Baba Yaga. I don't think we spent very much time with Baba Yaga. But I also do think we spent a lot of time with Nadia, and I definitely did grow to care about her. This is a good point as well. The progression of Zima, how she grew and stood by what she believed and wanted to do what was best for her family, but also what was best overall. And she was very conflicted a lot of the time.
Yes, and also like to stand up to her family, you know.
Yeah.
So just, because you know what they say, you know, it's hard to stand up to your enemies, but it's even harder to stand up to people who are like super close to you.
Yeah. I have not, but I want to. I do wonder if that's in my Russian fairy tale book.
You have a Russian fairy tale book?
I do. I haven't read it yet, but I want to. Ah, it is in here. Ivan Tsarevich, the Grey Wolf, and the Firebird.
Can you show me this book? I want to see.
This one was recommended to me by Sophie Anderson.
Russian magic tales. I'm gonna have to look that up.
But it's in there, and I do.
And that is recommended by Sophie Anderson. Like, hello.
Yeah, when Gavin did the interview with Sophie Anderson, I popped in the comment of, if, you know, I love Slavic fairy tales, etc., where would you recommend I go to for reading the originals? And she said this book, which is a collection of...
Wow, that's amazing. I want that.
Quite a lot of them. We've got like 3 contents pages.
I am so good for this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into that at some point. It's probably going to be one that's going to take me a long time to get through, but I do want to read the original. Ivan did kind of come out of nowhere. It's true. And I don't feel like we saw a lot of him or got a lot.
Yeah, maybe she tried to tie too many
perhaps
folklore and fairy tales into like, because it's also not a very long book. It's not. Yeah. It's like not even 300 pages, or a little over 300, and it has illustrations. So yeah, it's not like a very long book. So maybe she tried to tie too many folklore and fairy tales into
one. For a Baba Yaga book, Baba Yaga wasn't present as much as I would have wanted. I agree. It would have been nice.
Is it meant as a Baba Yaga book? I don't know.
I think so. Wish we saw more of Baba Yaga. Yeah. Zima was maybe the only character with any depth or progression. Yeah, I would also say Nadia. And Katarina did have some progression, but I don't feel like it was very deep at all. Like, she went from being engaged to the Tsar to realizing her magic isn't evil and becoming the next Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there was much depth to that at all. It was very much, the story has happened and I've awoken and realized that I was wrong.
True.
Like, there wasn't much depth to her. Oh, the chat jumped, sorry. Read it, love the original, and yes, it's Ivan Tsarevich, the Firebird and the Grey Wolf. Yeah, I tend to only remember the wolves. I do plan to read it. I will. Give it a 7 for
Sasha,
characters.
are you gonna do a Slavic readathon now or not? We need to know the answer to this. Okay?
Just put her right on the spot. She probably needs to think about the logistics behind this.
No, she does not have to think about it.
7 characters because Nadia was weak. We hardly knew about her before she was placed in the orphanage. I mean, fair, but at the same time, like, the story wasn't relevant before she was placed in the orphanage. She was just desperate to escape, wasn't she? She was desperate to run away into the forest. Yeah.
She wanted to be with the forest.
I agree with this, that we don't know much about Katerina. I don't think she was very deep at all. The lone wolf was cute and happy. He was a good sidekick. Completely agree. One thing I really liked was that they were all in the forest together in the beginning and all their paths crossed. I just loved that for some reason. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was a great... And I think that's something that helped it read like a very classic fairy tale for me. Like, you've all started here. You're going to go on your journeys and you're going to come back. It was cyclical. It was back to where it started. It wrapped up nicely. I did enjoy that. Katerina suddenly being a witch, yeah, came out of nowhere. Not much development with her at all. It was all a bit thrown into. Yeah, I get it. Do we even have a choice now? Apparently not. Definitely could have been expanded and made into a longer story. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Did anyone else think the whole Baba Yaga finds the guy that should be the Tsar and ends up being the Tsar very instant, and then people just accepted him? Yes. He's a random dude that's suddenly been declared he's supposed to be the Tsar. I think it would be questionable. I think in an adult book that isn't also magical,
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Then it would be questioned. However, for a middle grade book with magic, and he's got the dagger that will only kill a Tsar, and that is what then declares you a Tsar, but he's also got the blood of it anyway, like he's supposed to be there. I think in a middle grade magical world that wouldn't be questioned.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same, for the sake of it being a middle grade, and I think it's also at the lower end of middle grade with age, you know.
Yeah.
I can see like definitely like an 8-year-old reading this.
Yeah, middle grade's supposed to be like 7 to 12, right? I think this is definitely more the like, as you say, 8-year-old end of that. Yeah. The story was more about the roles the females played, which might be why the Ivan character was less involved in it. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, our main characters are the women. It is a story of powerful girls doing the right thing, making a difference. Which is, you know, something we love to see. We love to see the powerful ladies going after what they want.
Yes.
There was no explanation of the magic system. I seem to remember there being a something, Baba Yaga having her magical item and it being like nature drawn magic, but I can't remember in any depth.
No, I can't really recall like a full magic system. I just thought it was like, you know,
Baba Yaga's
the forest, and Baba Yaga being a witch, and then Katerina being like the new Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
And what you said, I thought it was all very nature driven.
Yeah.
With the forest and stuff like that.
Just started reading middle grade, and I've read this book and the first 2 Polar Bear Explorers, and the difference is I feel like this book wasn't as timeless. This is very young middle grade. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Comparing this to something like the Polar Bear Explorers Club, or something like A Pinch of Magic, or some of our other favorite middle grade books, this one definitely reads a lot younger. It's not as deep.
Agree.
It's not as complex. But I think that's also what gives it that classic fairy tale vibe. Like if you read some classic fairy tales, like the one that springs to mind at the minute is East of the Sun, West of the Moon, because that's the only classic one I've read recently. Like, they're short, they are to the point, they don't have a lot of depth or development. They have their moral and they get to it. And I think that's
just
the
like
vibe this gave off more.
a sum up from this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, and so on.
Yeah. It's a good point. Sometimes it's hard to think. Yeah. The information will be more minimal in a middle grade. Yeah. Other middle grades seem to cross age groups seamlessly. Yeah. I agree with that. Again, if you compare it to something like A Pinch of Magic, Nevermore, etc. The Sophie Anderson books. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Would be a great book for International Women's Day. That's a very good point. Yeah. It would, with all those powerful ladies.
Yes. We love to see our powerful ladies.
In a fairy tale, you don't question whether it's logical, and that's definitely a vibe. Yeah. Nature gives back to the forest, which it takes. Yeah. Absolutely. Loved every minute. Enough said. Love that. Love that. Atmosphere. Let's get into atmosphere. Because that is next. And again, I gave atmosphere a 9.
I gave atmosphere a 9 too. And I'm gonna stick with that.
Yeah, I am also going to stick with that. I don't doubt that one. I think the atmosphere was very strong.
I think out of all the elements of Corpile, I think the atmosphere was the best.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. And Sasha here's covering it as well. It was on point, matched the book. I felt it. I definitely felt
like
it.
The forest vibes, the polar vibes, the magical vibes, the fairy tale vibes. It was just the Slavic vibes. It was just, and the illustrations helped a lot with that also. Mm-hmm. Like,
absolutely. I just want to touch on this as well. Fairy tales driven by the lessons and the morals rather than the characters or the plot. Absolutely. Yes. Which is why it has that very classic fairy tale feeling. Mm-hmm. Oh. Bless you.
Thank you.
I think if you're going to do a fairy tale retelling, you need to add something, and this seemed like it was literally just the fairy tale itself rewritten. I haven't read the original, so I can't make that comparison.
Yeah, but I think it was just a mashup of different elements of fairy tales. I think it's not like really less necessary a retelling of one fairy tale.
I don't know. I don't know if it is a quite close retelling of the Ivan, the Wolf, and the Bird one. I'll have to read it and report back. But we've also got some 9s for atmosphere. Oh, this was more than one fairy tale combined. There we go. Okay. Atmosphere was definitely chef's kiss. Absolutely. I don't think I have anything bad to say in relation to the atmosphere. I loved it. I felt it. I think it was beautiful.
Yeah, it stands in the author's notes. She says, one of the stories that's heavily inspired. This one is Ivan the Firebird and the Grey Wolf. So it is like heavily inspired on that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say if it says anything.
Oh, here we go. Ivan the Wolf and the Firebird doesn't have Baba Yaga in it.
Ah, see? I
So,
that
maybe.
you did it because I wanted to know that. I wanted to know that exactly.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure that out.
And we have a Rosie.
Hey, Rosie.
Hello. I really don't have much to say on Atmosphere. I think it was brilliantly done.
Yeah,
So,
it was just good and everything I like and love. So
let's move on to writing then.
yeah, I give writing a 9, but I think I would lower that to an 8 right now.
I think I'm feeling the same because I also gave it a 9, but also now looking back on it, we could have had some more depth and development in places.
Yes,
we could have known a little bit more about the world. And this does pull in with Atmosphere, I suppose, with the fairy tale atmosphere, which is why we didn't get that depth. But I do think an 8 feels
more
better.
Right. Yeah.
9 from Judith. 7. 8. 8. The writing was very middle grade. Yeah. Wish there was a bit more to it. Yeah. I think that's the general consensus we're reaching.
You know, the writing was very middle grade. It's not like necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because I love middle grade. But I get what you mean by that. You know,
I think when someone says very middle grade, what we mean is it's basic, it's easy to follow.
Yeah.
An 8-year-old could read this with ease.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the fact that this book is just, we read a lot of middle grade, and you know, like for example, A Pinch of Magic and Nevermore is like more on the higher end of the age scale that middle grade is in, and this is very much like on the lower end.
Yeah, I get that. It was good for the age group. It fit. Yeah. I think though there is some middle grade writing that is very basic, but this was just above that. I feel like adults can read it too. Yeah. Like, it was easy to follow.
Yeah.
It was quick. I think the pacing was really good. Like, it's a short book anyway, and it's a middle grade with illustrations. You're going to fly through it. But you do also have to give it some credit for the fact that the pacing of the story also keeps you intrigued enough to read it quickly.
Absolutely. I think I read it in one sitting. So,
Yeah.
you know, a writing has to be like at least be good to achieve that with me, because otherwise I'm gonna get bored and lay the book down and grab my phone.
Tracy did get bored in some parts. Interesting. Would love to know what parts that was. To be fair, I wasn't bored reading it at any time throughout, and that's good. I'm agreeing with this. I wasn't bored when reading it.
No, I wasn't either.
I just had all those like warm, fuzzy feelings from it. It felt like a hug in a book to me, and I was really enjoying myself the entire time. So I wasn't bored. Nina also was bored as well. Would love to know when. I will agree with this, that the ending was a little bit rushed.
Yeah.
I will agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Can't remember. Feels like a long time ago. If you read it for Polathon, you know, that was like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But same, you know, Polathon feels like fucking a year ago in my head. Mm-hmm. It's just, wow.
Oh, Baba Yaga scenes with Ivan were a bit yawn. I get that. But at the same time, I was also really intrigued by him as well. which then lets me down that we didn't get more information on him, and more depth to his part of the story. Oh, yes. So sad that Zima then couldn't communicate with them.
Yeah, that was sad.
Heartbreaking. It was a one-sitting read for me, and I definitely wasn't bored. Felt like a cozy hug. Completely agree. But yeah, the ending was a bit rushed. Impatient to get to Baba Yaga's chapters. Fair. Interesting. Bored in the castle. Oh, I found the castle scenes really entertaining because Zima was a human around humans and had no idea how to behave like a human. So I thought that was really entertaining. Like, you can change your clothes, you know. You don't have to stay in your filthy dress for days. Was the Firebird ever mentioned again? I don't think it was.
No.
But then haven't read the original story, so don't know what the relevance of the Firebird is supposed to be, or whether it's supposed to just be symbolic of something. I don't know, but I don't recall it being mentioned again ever, other than just the sighting. Didn't know what to do after being hugged. Baba Yaga could have given her something to communicate. She has all these powers, why not? Absolutely. Love the friend Zima made, yeah. So pure, yeah. The bird was literally mentioned in passing. I think Ivan sees it. Like, they're walking through the forest and Ivan sees it fly overhead. And that's it. That is it. Which is what makes me think that maybe it's supposed to be symbolic of something rather than important to the story. Which I think is where, if you've read the original, you would probably get more out of this. But at the same time, if you're a child who hasn't, you can still read and enjoy it.
Very true.
Be amusing if there would be a sequel from his point of view. Yeah, just laying traps in the forest and this talking wolf appears. What is happening? I was hoping to learn more about it. I felt it was never resolved. And as a young reader, they might not have the background info. Absolutely. But again, I don't think it's... I don't remember how it was mentioned.
But it's like, as an 8-year-old, are you gonna think like, I wanted more background? I don't know. Because that's what it's meant for that age category.
Yeah. The beginning was setting Nadia up to be the next Baba Yaga, and then suddenly it was Katerina. Didn't match up with the first few chapters. I don't think I felt that. I think Nadia was just desperate to be free and adventure. Yeah. I don't think it was setting her up to be magical.
I just think Nadia wants to make everyone around her realize that the forest isn't like a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
And I do really like that aspect of, I don't know, it gave me kind of vibes and lessons to children's of be kind to nature and be kind to the world you live in, and I really like that.
Pulling back into the magic system, there is a bit of a moral of take from nature but give back to nature. Like, only take what you can give back, don't take too much, appreciate it, it's important. So there is definitely that moral in there as well. Something I'd completely forget, especially as I didn't know. Yeah, I think if you didn't know that the Firebird is important to the story of Ivan and the Wolf, then I don't think you would necessarily pick up on it. It's very easy to pull apart middle grade, but it's written well for its audience. Absolutely. And I think this is something that, especially with the middle grade books that I'm more critical of, for example, if we look back at when we read Wizards of Once, that was way too young written for me. So I didn't like it. But I can completely appreciate that a 7-year-old would love that. I just didn't.
I did, but what I loved like about Wizards of Once was that it made like 0 sense. There was just a whole lot of fucking bullshit, and I just love that.
This is a family-friendly show. Wash out your mouth with soap.
Sorry. But it makes 0 sense, and I love that aspect. I love it.
Yeah. How did the Tsar know that Katerina was a witch? Wasn't there a scene where like he threatened Baba Yaga and she had to tell him the truth or something because of a bargain that had been struck, and she had to give him the truthful answer to a question or something?
I can't really remember that. I think you're right, though.
Yeah. And that's why he just shows up at the orphanage and takes her off to be married.
To be his wife.
Nina is confirming, yes. I'm pretty sure it happened again, Tracy. Like, there was the initial backstory, but then I think it happened again. Yeah, she has to give the family truthful answers. Yeah. Answer any question that he had. Cool. We're in line. Sounds familiar. Dying at prisoner day now.
Sorry.
I feel like we've covered plot quite a lot already.
Yeah,
Do we have them?
I'm gonna lower plot as well, I think, to an 8. Because I had it as a 9, but I think I will lower it to an 8. And same with intrigue. I
feel like plot and intrigue come very hand in hand.
Yeah. I had both plot and intrigue as a 9, and I think now looking back, I'm gonna lower that both to an 8.
I think I'm kind of on the same wave as you. So let me just work this out in. Yeah, there we go. That feels better. 8 for plot and intrigue. Makes sense. Intrigue wouldn't be too high. I was interested, but like it wasn't captivating. That makes sense. But then this also makes sense. It did feel rushed at the end, but if I was 10 years old, it would have been really exciting.
Yeah. True.
100%. 7 from Tracy for plot and intrigue. Pretty decent. I'd say 7 is a good rating. Like, I feel like you have to give intrigue some credit for the fact that we've said it was such a quick read.
Yeah.
And yes, we have the fact that it's middle grade, we have the writing style, we have the illustrations to thank for that as well. But also, like, if you weren't intrigued, you would put it down.
Absolutely.
And we didn't.
I didn't.
So you have to give it some credit there. But I feel like we've pretty much covered most of that already with our babbling.
We did.
Logic.
I always find this so hard, you know, in Corporal.
Yep.
I always find logic such an odd one in the bunch. And I'm also, I don't know. I gave it a 9. But I think I have to like lower it to an 8 again so that it fits like plot and intrigue.
I am going to agree but disagree. I gave mine a 9. I think I'm going to keep it at a 9 because it is logical in the way that it is a fairy tale based on a fairy tale. It has fairy tale logic.
Yeah,
and that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be real. It's not supposed to make complete sense. It's a fairy tale.
Yeah. That's very true.
I think the logic is exactly what it's supposed to be. Like, if you read a completely illogical book, are you going to give it a 0 for logic on Corpile? No, because it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, just like with the Starless Sea, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never had a more unlogical book than the Starless Sea. But I love that book with my whole dying heart.
I get it.
Because that book wasn't supposed to be logical.
And I think in the same vein, I don't think it was supposed to be like illogical. It wasn't supposed to not make sense.
No,
and
but it isn't illogical.
Fairy tale logic.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Got CC agreeing. 9 for the same reason. 6 for Tracy. So many holes. I get why you could see this. But I'm sticking with it's fairy tale logic. It doesn't all make sense. It's not all explained. You have to kind of give some faith to fairy tale worlds. Some holes that needed filling, but a lot of it I didn't question. Fair. Don't really care about logic. I love when things don't make sense. Fair.
Same.
Did you say something about Keeper of the Lost Cities?
Did I?
I don't know.
Probably did.
You probably did. I've learned. Yeah, there is no logic in folklore and fairy tales most of the time. Absolutely. In the original, Ivan rides back on the Grey Wolf. Rides on the Grey Wolf's back. Yeah, cool.
Okay, then I'm keeping it as a 9 for logic.
Yashi! Real! Why not?
I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry. Because I can't.
Didn't hear you mention it, but keepers!
Woo!
That's just me pretending I heard it. I mean, here we go. Love that about fairy tales. Me too. Me too.
You know what I also really like is sometimes it's not supposed to make sense, and sometimes it has like holes for you to kind of fill it in yourself, in your mind and in your imagination. And I don't know, I quite like that. It can be like whatever you want it to be. And I like that.
Yeah. I get you. No, I haven't recorded that yet, but I should. And that leaves us with enjoyment. And I'm definitely sticking with my rating for enjoyment.
Yeah.
I feel like enjoyment is the one that relies on your gut feeling, like what you feel at the time of reading it.
But enjoyment, you can't change enjoyment afterwards if you have like time to sit on it, because the enjoyment is supposed to be rated right after. That's supposed to be
Yeah. Did you have
So
fun
I'm
at the time? Did you
yes,
enjoy?
yes. So I'm sticking that as a 9 too.
I am also sticking with a 9 for that. As I already said at the beginning of this, it was like a warm hug. It was so many things that I love rolled up in one. Polar fantasy, middle grade, Slavic folklore, all of these things with a wolf as our main character as well. Like, it was just a recipe for success in terms of enjoyment, and I had a great time reading it. I was happy. It made me feel warm and homely and cozy inside, and those fairy tale vibes just it was so much fun. So I'm sticking with the 9. The way I've just described it, you might think, like, why not a 10? It's really hard for me to give a 10 to anything unless your name is Sebastian de Castell or Victoria
Yeah,
Schwab.
I wanted to say only Sebastian de Castell gets 10s.
Imagine. Yeah. You do have many recordings of it. It's a good point. Random minute in a Twitch stream and just get it.
Yeah.
10 from Judith, 7 from Tracy, 9.5, 9, 8 or 9. I find it hard to stick with one number. Oh, and I missed this comment from Sasha for the Slavic Readathon.
Whoa! This is exciting.
Was working on it already. Sasha, you do what you want to do, but if you need any help with like teams or anything,
yes,
you know where we are.
You know where to find me.
Absolutely. Teams are so much fun.
Hell yeah.
But it does seem like enjoyment for most of us was pretty high. So
yeah,
I think that's great overall. And so what is your new overall rating on Corepile for it?
I have no fucking idea because I cannot do math. But it's the same as yours, isn't it?
It's the same. I lowered characters to an 8. I don't think you did you?
Oh shit, I didn't.
Oh, but I can work yours out anyway. I'll just change it back to a 9.
Okay.
So yours is 8.71, which is a 4-star. And mine is 8.57, which is a 4-star. So we've lowered from 5s to 4s.
Yeah.
But only very slightly. So yeah. I'm really pleased that we picked this, that we read this, that we've all had a good time with this. I think it was.
And it was just perfect for the month and for Polython, so
yeah.
Yes, it was like a win. Definitely a win.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
And now that we've finished talking about All for a Spell, let's talk more about Sasha's readathon that she's doing, because people are in favor of teams.
Yes, teams!
Mine's still 5 stars.
Oh my god.
I think teams are winning. You should do a Slavic pick for every February. I think we always do.
I can now see Sasha behind her laptop, equally excited and equally panicking.
Oh, you could have a Firebird team.
Firebird team.
So many options,
and
Sasha.
And the House with Chicken Legs team.
Well, if you've got a Baba Yaga team, you don't need a House with Chicken Legs team, because they'd be the same team.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Jumping alone on my bed. Excited. 9988789.
Yeah, that would make it a 4-star.
That would make it a 4-star. Let me just check what yours would be. It would be 8.29 and would be a 4-star. Just did the math for you. Where am I? I've lost my tabs. Here we are. You have to collect the house.
And
maybe
a Domovoy team.
Maybe has something that they have to collect. Like the Baba Yaga team have to collect the house.
Yes.
The Firebird team have to collect the egg or something. I don't know.
And the Domovoy need to collect the
offering,
because it's the offering.
Offering.
Yes.
They have to collect the offering. Ooh. Sasha, if you need any help planning a readathon,
yes, Sasha, you message us, okay?
Collect the house.
Sasha's going crazy right now.
This is exciting.
Very exciting.
Oh, love it. Okay, anyway, we are done with the conversation. We are excited for Sasha's readathon. We have no choice now. We're helping her plan a readathon.
Okay, that's cool. I'm down.
Oh, and you could collect the bits for the fence around it as well. Oh dear. I'm excited. Firebird also has a white horse and the grey wolf. Collect the team. We're just going to get carried away discussing this now. So keep your eyes peeled for the Slavic readathon that Sasha will be announcing sometime soon. But thank you ever so much for hanging out with us this evening and chatting all about Wolf for a Spell. We've enjoyed hanging out with you. And remember that this will be our pick for March. I know we're already partway through March. Our live show for this will be in a couple of weeks' time. I know a lot of you will have already read it and finished it by now, but if you haven't, there's still time to do that. So we will see you there for that one. And we will be announcing the next 3 months' books very soon. So keep an eye out on the Twitter for that. So yeah, thank you very much for hanging out. We hope you had a good time. And we will see you in the next one. Bye!